and everything I would like to be.
Al Sanders was considered by many to be the best at what he did, Baltimore's most respected television anchorman. His colleague of more than 20 years says Al set a standard of excellence in his field.
There are no words or combination of words that can express my feelings about this loss.
It was a great privilege to work with two people like that. And when a television station has the feeling of being a part of your family, you can't turn your back on occasions like this. You have to come.
He was a professional. It was a pleasure to work with and a pleasure to be around, and he's going to be sorely, sorely missed.
First, we have come to express our mutual appreciation for the life of Al Sanders.
This treasured man touched the lives of everyone he came in contact with. At his funeral, there was so much pain, so many tears.
We know that he had a dream. He puts me in mind of a Martin Luther King, a man who had a dream and a vision. And that's what we need, because without a dream and a vision, people perish.
He was the first person that said to me, you can do what you want to do. Just go for it. And I still tell people today that Al Sanders directly affected the way I live my life right now.
Carest thou not that we should perish.
In a very emotional service, Al's family, friends, and co-workers expressed love and admiration.
I, like most of you, did not get a chance to say goodbye to Albert, to hold his hand, and to look in his warm and loving face and tell him how much he meant to me. So I will say goodbye, Albert. We are all so grateful for the time we had together with you. And my God, how we loved you. And that love will live here forever. And so will you.
Master, the terror.
You recognize that death is a part of life, but it's still difficult to say goodbye to a friend.
When it comes to dads, I'd be the first to say that my father was the best. He was always boosting my self-esteem and making me feel like I was somebody special. He and my mother always let me know how proud of me they were. Even though it was hard to share my dad with the whole entire state, it was so great to know that the man I call my father did so much for our community and touched so many people's lives.
I played soccer when I was little, and also when I was in high school, I played football. And the thing that I remembered about every game on the weekends was that he would be there, and he would be in the stands with all the other people. He would be talking. But you know what? You could always know it's my father, because he was the man that had the video camera on the tripod and the still camera, and had the world's greatest dad cap on.
You know, but my dad was also a disciplinarian. I remember my mom had trouble waking me up a few times, more than a few times to go to school. And one thing that would wake me up is hearing his footsteps come up those steps. It took me no time to get up and be dressed by the time he got to my door.
And now that I look back at his life, I knew that he was a man that stood behind his word. He always did what he said. Every time he went to speak at a school, he was living proof of what he spoke.
I never really got the chance to say goodbye to my father. So, Dad, I want you to rest in peace. Peace be with you.
It is a very difficult thing for me to cover the story of Al's funeral. I am here as a reporter, but mainly I'm here as a friend. I cannot bear the idea of saying goodbye to a man who always brought a smile to my face.
Well, a night of disappointment for Baltimore fans as they're waiting for a franchise.
At 54 years old, Al Sanders was still on top, a tough competitor. At one point, Al and the late Jerry Turner anchored one of the most popular newscasts in the city's history.
It's a real sad occasion, and we'll just do what we can to express our sympathies, not only for myself, but on behalf of the city, but this whole state has really lost a great friend.
Tonight, for the first time in more than 20 years, Baltimore cannot look forward to Al Sanders delivering a newscast. We are left with only memories. Memories of impeccable professionalism and humor. Al is gone, but many believe his spirit will always be among us. For the night team, Greg Stoddard, Channel 13, Eyewitness News.
There were about 700 people who attended today's service. The place was packed.
Sure was, and it wasn't only during the memorial service that people showed their love and respect for Al. As the funeral procession wound from Columbia to Arbutus, people lined the way, showing us by their presence they cared about Al as much as we did. Outside the cemetery, people stood and watched. Although many of them chose not to go inside, they shared their thoughts about the man who became part of their families.
Lay down to rest.
It's so emotional. It's so emotional. He's just a part of Baltimore. And Jerry Turner, you remember since you were a little child. You know, you just grew up with him, and it's very sad.
Your last tribute to anybody that was special to everybody, and I feel like he's part of us. He's one of ours. And that's why I feel like I wanted to be here.
I watched him ever since he's been on Channel 13 with Jerry Turner, and I enjoyed him. And when they talk about him, tears run down my eyes, face, cheeks.
I feel like somebody's missing at my dinner table.
He was an important person. He was well loved. And with everyone out here today, just lined up here, it tells you that he was well loved.
Al was part of the family. Every night we watch Channel 13. I'm just going to miss him.
I really liked Al. He was a wonderful person.
People held up signs, police officers saluted, and construction workers took off their hard hats, all in tribute to Al. It has been very difficult for many people to say goodbye to Al.
Well, of course, words do not come easy at a time like this, but thousands of you have shared your thoughts in cards and letters to Al's family and our WJZ family. The night team's Mike Shue has your stories.
If all the world were like Al, there would be no hate, no racism, just love for one another. A viewer wrote that passage, this one too. Al was a masterpiece of the Creator's hand. If such words gave his family and friends strength, then this room is a powerhouse. Thousands and thousands of cards were sent. So on Monday and Tuesday, you came in person to say goodbye. 3,000 of you, waiting as long as it took to do so. It's a peaceful, clear spring day, as good as any you'll find. Fitting for a man as good as you'll ever know.
Al would have loved to have seen such a beautiful, peaceful day. The day represents the type of man that he was.
Jean was one of those who sent cards. She sent many, in fact.
I saw Al for the last time. I gave my condolence to the family.
Al's family says it's people like Jean and thousands of others like her who made them feel blessed.
I knew you lost a great man there. I just knew it.
Nancy also sent condolences.
When I heard it, when I wrote the card, I just didn't really believe it was happening. But, that he actually passed away that quick.
And tonight, long after the organized tributes are done, individual tributes continue. There's something very touching happening tonight here at Arbutus Memorial Cemetery. A steady stream of well-wishers are coming by to tell Al goodbye in person.
It's made me realize that it really happened. I mean, you see it on TV and he's been gone for a while, and it just makes me feel like he's on vacation or something. But being here now makes me realize that, hey, this is a real thing and he really did pass on.
It's just something about Al Sanders different. He was part of your life.
He lived life the way most people should.
I just feel like he knows. If he could see us right now, he knows we're here for a reason to honor him, and that's just about it there.
Al's grave is awash with flowers, but some have brought their own.
Even when I was down through times, he was always there to make somebody laugh and bring joy to somebody's face.
Well, it brings a relief to know that Al don't have to suffer no more.
he gone to be with the Lord, and that makes a big difference.
For the night team, Mike Shue, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
Al is survived by his wife Ruth and his children Brandon, Christopher, and Tisha.
The kids, and they're really not kids, they're young adults.
Young
were
adults.
So brave today.
They were.
He would have been proud. When word of Al's death reached the Baltimore City Council, members decided to honor him. Councilman Melvin Stukes sponsored a resolution expressing the city's sympathy to Al's family. A moment of silence was also observed in his memory. There's no easy way to say goodbye to our dear friend, Al Sanders, but your outpouring of concern and your warm wishes have helped us tremendously. On behalf of Al's family and the Eyewitness News family, we want to say thanks. As you know, Al's passion for jazz has prompted us to create the Al Sanders Foundation for Music Studies. If you'd like to contribute, you may write in care of the Baltimore Community Foundation, 2 East Reed Street, Baltimore, Maryland.